Know Me Yet Podcast Network.
Hey, you are tuned in to Two Gems and a Mic with hosts Tanisha the Diva Mahomes and Linda L.D. Dorsey. Just know, if we talking about it, you need to hear about it. Unwind and enjoy. Hey everybody, welcome to another episode of Two Gems on the Mic. I'm your girl LD with my girl. What's up, Diva?
Hey, what's going on? Talk to me.
Hey, how's your weekend?
I had a good weekend.
Good.
Weekend. Got everything I needed done, so it was all right. How about yours?
It was good. We're looking out for this weekend to see what's gonna happen with our folks down in Florida. We're praying for all of those folks, anybody in the path of the storm, and those who were impacted by the last storm. So praying for all. This is a lot going on. So get that out there first and foremost. Let's start off with Robert Saleh, because I wanna understand what's going on there.
Tomfoolery at its finest. That's all I can come up with. Like what? Excuse me. What? Please tell me what is he?
Say what? What?
The defensive with the interim who's taking over? A guy that has never been a head coach before?
Not even that. We can get to that. I agree with you, because you're not going to put Nathaniel Hackett in there. Not with what happened in Denver. But no. What I'm hearing later on in the day is that security had to walk him out. I mean,
well, I think I'd have been about ready to get on somebody in too if they'd have fired me like that. But I mean, you got to think about it. Something else it's got to be an underlying issue in there. I mean, I saw this one little clip where like Aaron Rodgers, like he got ready to hug him and Aaron Rodgers like pushed him off and everything. And I'm thinking,
yeah, he said that was last week in the game last week. And he said he pushed him off because Robert Saleh always has this, his methodology or his mindset is 2 scores up. We got to be 2 scores up, and they wasn't. So Aaron wasn't ready to hug him. I don't know what went on. Aaron Rodgers didn't look good to me. So you firing coaches.
You talk about that because you've been on him. You've been talking.
New York thought he was going to be the saving grace.
Yeah.
Right. He didn't play last year. That was the hype. He played a minute last year. That was the hype. So I don't even think you hold that against Saleh, because what was he left with? Nothing. As far as quarterbacks?
Totally they had spent all their time building this around Aaron Rodgers, and then he went out there and tore his Achilles, and that was a wrap.
Right. So you had no Aaron Rodgers. I don't think it was fair to hold that against Saleh. He's a great defensive coach. Look what he did in with the 49ers. So that was rolling. So what tells you what's not clicking? What's not clicking is the offense, and you're going to hold that against him?
Hey, like I said, I don't see any advantage they get out of this. This to me seems like this is something personal that's going on in the locker room that probably won't surface for another couple of weeks, and we can really find out what's going on. But this sounds like some sort of conflict or something that happened.
Yeah, and I'm surprised.
Robert Saleh ain't no small dude, so you're not about to talk to him reckless. I already got that in my mind that he probably the dude that'll say something back and say it with authority. So, sometimes quarterbacks aren't used to people talking to them any kind of way. I think
I think he's going to take trash from anybody. I think he could tell Hackett whatever he wanted to. But what got me was, Rodgers made his comments and he said, hey, this was not up to my standards. I played below. Yeah, you played below a bunch of standards. There was 3 interceptions. 3 interceptions, and 1 was for a pick 6. And you fired the coach after that?
Yeah.
I'm not saying you bench Rodgers. You say, yeah, we had a bad week. Get back to it. Get hot. I think
you say what you're supposed to say. You get up there and say, I need to be better.
We heard it. We heard it from all of them.
Yeah, I need to be better.
But you can't put that on the coach because he ain't out there throwing that ball.
On footballs, exactly.
Right.
And it's not like he told Rodgers to throw something he ain't seen before or go out there and reinvent the wheel. Aaron Rodgers obviously is a little bit slower. You can tell Achilles. That's how you feel. I'm sorry.
A little bit.
He's a little bit slower. Getting out the gates. You know what I'm saying? Just when you gotta go, you're a little bit slow. But that's what you get with an older quarterback. But they're not banking on his speed. They weren't expecting him to pull a Lamar. They're expecting him to read defenses, early. Pre-snap, dissect the defense. That's what they expected him to do. They weren't expecting him to break out in Lamar Jackson, Jaden. And we're not expecting that. He's not a Stroud. I mean,
that's gonna be interesting.
Him to pull out what we expect, what you expect when you see a Tom Brady out there. I done seen everything. I know what you're trying to do. Know what you're trying to throw me into, and I'm not going for it. That's what they were looking for from Aaron Rodgers.
Yeah.
And not Speedy Gonzalez.
No, nowhere near.
No.
So we on it. So let's go ahead. Let's jump into what we saw in week 5. How you want to start with your surprises or your disappointments?
What you want to talk about? Stuff that happened in week 5.
Okay.
Yeah, let's do it a little bit different.
I love what I'm seeing from.
Yeah, go ahead.
Okay, I'm a Giants fan.
I know.
As you know, you see my hat.
I won.
And for a good cause. Now I'm not even. I always like these hats, military hats, or I like these. Right.
Gotcha.
Good catch. Right. So, but Washington, even on that, they're fun.
What?
The Commanders are fun to watch.
They look real good, don't they? Like they're gonna go out there and do something. And I hate to say that, being about them boys,
because we're gonna talk about that. They not looking good, but I'm really impressed with them. I don't even remember who they played week 1 and they lost to. I have to go back and look who the Commanders lost to week 1 because.
But I remember when everybody was running their mouth. He can't even throw the ball.
Well, in the second week, I mean, they played us and they beat us with field goals. Yeah. So I mean,
they had to take them reins off.
And then you know how they were starting. You know how the media is. The media want to mix stuff up and saying, "Oh, Terry, what's his name?
Terry McLaurin."
Right, not getting the ball. He's that, and he came out and said it himself. Hey,
but you know what?
Let him settle in.
Let's talk about old Kingsbury. Oh, okay. Let's talk about him. I'm thinking that he has a guy here with some talent, and he's thinking, let me slowly get him out here, let him get acclimated, let him get used to the speed of the game, and then I'm gonna take these training wheels off, and then I'm gonna let him do what he does. Let Mr. Daniels do what Mr. Daniels do. And guess what? Say what you want. Hell, it's working.
It is.
It's working. And he's just that type of coach, just knowing how he was with Lil Pat. He's that type of coach where once the players trust him. You know what I mean? Like his quarterback seem like they trust him. The whole experiment with Kyler was kind of
I've seen I'm not there. Maybe that was
I've seen him with other ones.
Yeah, maybe that was a head coaching thing.
Yeah.
He didn't do nothing in college. Pat, he had Pat was good. He had Caleb Williams. Williams was good, but he wasn't doing. He wasn't doing nothing with him. So is it him? I think part of it is him. I'm gonna give him some because he's got to call the plays. Jaden Daniels is special. I thought he was. I mean, he won a Heisman Trophy for a reason.
Kyler Murray, not Caleb Williams. So for everybody that want to critique,
no, he had Caleb Williams at USC and didn't do nothing with him.
Oh, you talking about? Okay, yeah. You're right. You're right. So, you're damn right.
Yeah, you said Kyler, but he had him and he didn't do nothing with him. So I'm not, and I know y'all got a different relationship with him. I'm not rah with Cliff yet.
Well, I mean, it's not about rah. I just think that right now he's probably the best coordinator for Daniel.
For this young man. Okay.
Yeah, for this guy. It's a good fit. It seems to be a good fit right now.
I can go with that.
We'll see. Yeah. I mean, it's not even about that. It's just I think he's a good fit.
Okay.
Yeah, we can talk about that. Let's talk about that Ravens Bengals. Woo!
I saw a comedian on TV the other on social media or something, and I think I sent it to you. So she said, she was getting ready to do her stand up, and she said, "Hey, before I do that, and I wish I knew her name so I could give her props. If I think of it before we end, I'll give it back." And she said, "Hey, before I start, I just want to let you know my husband is the assistant coach for the New York Giants," and everybody started clapping. Hey. And she said, he doesn't get paid, he volunteers, and he does it from the couch. And I said, well, damn, ain't that everybody?
Right.
We all assistant coach for I think I'm assistant coach for about 4 or 5 teams.
Man, I know I am for the Cowboys and the Chiefs. That's for damn sure. Woo! Don't you know? I think I ought to be
I
telling
think
back with the
I'm
bro.
I'm the
Oh,
associate head coach of the New York Giants.
really? The head coach, not the assistant coach.
Associate head coach. You know how they have the associate. That's the person.
I
If
know
Brian Davis
exactly.
was there, I'm stepping in.
The
So
one
I
that's
thought
volunteering.
she was funny, but it's so true because we all coaches. And
Absolutely.
I give it to him. We beat him up. We beat him up. We beat him up. It's hard to stand on that sideline and do what they do. I've coached as basketball as an assistant coach. It's a big difference because I remember my coach not being there and I had to coach for a couple of games. Big difference. Big difference. But anyhow, I digress. Back to it. The Bengals and the Ravens. Great game.
Who you telling? Who you telling? But man, I don't know. Like I know how much you like Joe Burrow. I do know.
Yeah.
But man, I was happy.
Joey threw him 5 touchdowns. He can't do nothing else.
Listen, but when I tell you, I was happy and a fat kid eating cake when they lost. What? I've been a hater.
I know you were.
Listen, I've been a hater ever since I was in the chat rooms on X, and they sung and put my name in it. The fact they put a mix in it with Tanisha in it, my own auntie in it. I've been hating ever since.
I do. I like Joe Burrows. I just like I don't know. I like him from LSU. It just
I like him,
guy.
but I like him losing better than I like him winning.
I'm with you. Yeah,
I do. I like him because they do talent off the chain.
I'm for, but I love Lamar Jackson.
Who don't?
And you know me, everybody, we all have our teams, right?
Yeah,
I'm a bleed blue. Lamar. I'm a bleed blue, and you know, and sometimes it's a whole lot of bleeding, but there are players out there, different players that you gotta give them their props. You ain't gotta like them, but you gotta give them their props. You ain't gotta be a fan, because I was never a fan of Michael Jordan because he beat the hell out of the Knicks every time he went to the Garden. But was I gonna give him his props? Absolutely. Yeah, absolutely. So yeah, that was a good game, and it was an exciting game, but it wasn't really a clean game because there was a lot of stuff going on there that shouldn't happen. Fumble at the end, you fumble the snap, the interception, the interception.
Yeah. So I mean, 5 touchdowns though.
It was exciting. It was an exciting game. I loved it. Now next week you got Jaden Daniels coming down 495 to 295 over to the Ravens Stadium. That one's gonna be a good one.
It is.
Him and Lamar, I think that's gonna be a good one. And I can't say how impressed and surprised I am by the Commander. So curious to see how far they'll go.
That DraftKings gonna make my heart sing. getting to play DraftKings on them two. What? Woo! I might walk out with some ching.
That was funny. I did well last week, as a matter of fact, on DraftKings.
Who did? Hey, I took the mini max down.
So let's go back to Thursday. Who's this? That's your boy. He was swag surfing.
Oh Lord Jesus. Talking about Kurt.
Yeah.
Man, Kurt Thuggins. Boy, I love that dude, man.
I know you do.
He bring me happiness. I'm telling you. Because to me, nobody deserves that type of fun more than Kirk Cousins, dude. The dude, he was, when I was there, I was up in your parks from 96 to 2019. And I remember when this cat used to drive a conversion van to work. You know what I'm saying? Them old school joints.
Yeah.
I'm about the one where you usually had a handicap lift in it.
Right.
On the side. Yeah. Yes. He just a good dude. How you can't cheer for this guy?
I do cheer for him now. I told you ever since I watched Quarterback. I have a different outlook on him ever since I watched Quarterback.
Yeah, that made people who didn't even like football like him.
Yeah, you looked at him in a different way. Him, Mariota, he's may not be playing now. Paddle, you see him different, and you see the human side of them, and you understand they are human. So we're gonna talk about athletes and being human and stuff a little later on.
But he said that song sung to him though. He said that's the one that got me hyped.
Yeah, he did. He was, and they were Lord. he's such in so many ways. He's like a cornball, but it's just so
Dude,
innocent, and he's
is.
having fun.
It's
And the guys
adorable.
around him, they're having fun. But it was a great game too, because your
Absolutely.
boys on the
And
other
he
side.
deserved
Baker was
that.
like,
He
man,
deserved that. Dude was unleashing. What I'm talking about, he didn't give up. They always talking about he choking prime time. Well, hey.
yeah,
What
he got
you
that
like this? You like that?
one.
You like
And
that?
Atlanta needed that win.
Oh,
Atlanta
yeah.
definitely
Oh,
needed
yeah.
that win.
Yeah, I'm
So-
glad, because that's what you need going into the next week, to give you that where we can do anything, nobody can mess with us type
Right.
thing.
And
so
they
that
had
locker
that from
room's
that other
got to
game.
be full
Remember?
of confidence. Yeah,
Right.
That
Who was that?
Yeah.
London that caught that, so they know.
Yeah, that
it's not
locker room
over.
got to be. Yeah, that locker room has got to be feeling pretty good right about now. And if you're an Atlanta fan, I mean, did you see how they were partying too?
Oh, they were enjoying themselves.
What?
Yeah. That's
I was
getting them
like,
back getting those fans back in those seats or
dude,
whatever.
they
So
looked
it was
like
fun
they
to
was
see.
having a blast. I might have to go down to one of them games. I'm like, woo, that looked like fun to me.
The Vikings, that early game, the Vikings 5-0, and Sam didn't look great.
No, and that's you know how I feel about Sam though. But literally, he got it. What you call it? He got that W. He did enough to get the win. That might be the first ugly one for him, but nah, I think he got plenty more good games in him.
Oh yeah,
that was just one little a one off, and he did enough. He's actually who cost me all my money this week. Because I had him on every parlay, everything I had going on, and he went out there and just, screw the pooch.
My Giants, they look good.
Finally, you gonna say something? Or I was gonna have to jump in and actually.
The Giants, they look good. The defense looked good. The offense looked good. He was throwing to people that, I mean, we had running backs in the game. I was like, who is that?
You sure did.
Who is that? We Googling people. I'm like, who is that?
That's Eric Craig.
Yeah, and then another guy, was it Tracy? What was his last name? Tracy Jr. or something like that. I'm like, who are these people?
That's exactly what you were saying.
I said, who are these people, Harpo?
I'm like, that's your 5th round pick.
who this running back, Harpo? Yeah, I was like, what is going on? Yeah. But I looked good.
They played.
He looked
they
comfortable.
Came in and did what they needed to do.
Then he was throwing the ball. They realized that Slayton been there for the last 3 years and was catching. Slayton looked good.
Where y'all at in the division?
We in last place.
I just want to make sure. That was unnecessary roughness, but I had to do it.
I don't care.
I'm sorry. No,
they've exceeded my expectations already.
Because they won some. You wasn't expecting to win nothing.
I'm good. You can't hurt my feelings. You can't, because y'all look like garbage right now. Y'all winning, but y'all look like garbage.
Don't do that.
You know it.
Because it's a true story. Don't do that. Don't do that, Linda. That's
all we gonna say about that. I don't know what is going on in Cowboy Land. I don't understand. Well, Mike McCarthy is going on. That's a problem.
Well, you know what? I'm not even gonna talk about. Jerry is going on because Stevie Wonder could have saw this coming. You know what I mean? It's just, I don't know. But anyway,
it's bad.
Moving on.
Yep.
It's hard to watch. I can tell you that. It's a whole lot of blood pressure is going up watching them Cowboys. It's pitiful out here in these streets.
Yeah, it is. It is. Mm-hmm. But I mean, the Chiefs look decent last night. I still think they 5-0 and they still ain't peaked.
No, because they can't. When they get in that red zone, it's like all of a sudden it's like a block or something. We can't get it. Just imagine many times they was in that red zone. If they walked away with half of it, it's like, come on. I mean, I don't know. They'll get worked out though. But that's the scary part. Yes. You're 5-0 and you nowhere near where you're gonna be at the end of this.
Exactly.
And if you couldn't get them when they was out here doing crazy stuff and timing off, people falling out week after week. I mean, 1 and 2 gone now. But man, how about Kareem Hunt coming back, baby? So I not call that?
I don't. You did, and I don't know if we ever said it on the podcast or we just had it with conversations where I said he would never go back to Kansas City.
And what did I say?
Kansas City would take him back because of ownership and all that and the optics. And I'm happy that they did.
I told you. I mean, you said
he's coming back. He coming back, and you wanted him back.
I wanted him back.
We both thought they got rid of him
way
too quick, and I thought the way that they got rid of him would be the reason why they wouldn't bring him back. But you kept that faith, and I'm happy for him because I remember seeing that video of him before the first Super Bowl. I think it was right when he was so sad, saying that he should be playing for a Super Bowl, and I just thought that was just heartbreaking because you're young and you want a second chance, and you don't Sometimes you're just not surrounded by the right people.
But check this out.
Mhm.
So I found out a little cool information about that. So when they called him, he was at home, he's working out, he's got a track coach, he's trying to stay in shape because he said he's like, I'm gonna get a phone call from somebody gonna
Right.
need somebody, and so I'm gonna be ready. He said he never imagined that it would
It
be
was the
Kansas
Chiefs.
City.
Yep.
And he said when Andy Reid called him, you know what he told him? You are not ever going to regret what you just did.
Yep.
He let him know he meant business when he came back. And I think, like I said, this is a place to me where the scheme worked the best for him from the very beginning. He felt comfortable in the system. He and Pat were like best friends when that whole incident happened. This is where he always wanted to be. In my opinion, this is where he should have been the entire time. And I'm so happy for him. And sometimes, a person deserves a second chance, and I believe that he will make the absolute most out of this second chance. But I thought it was kind of cool that when Andy Reid called him, he said, "You will absolutely not regret this."
Right.
Yeah,
I believe it. I don't believe everybody deserves a second chance, but
Yeah.
a lot of people do. So we ain't gonna lump them together because everybody don't.
We're not gonna do that.
So, but yeah, happy for him.
Mhm.
Like I said, we gotta win. The Texans, they pulled that out against the Bills. I don't know if I can say I'm surprised because I'm not surprised by anything that the Texans do.
But let's talk about the Raiders though, because they're another team that's in complete disarray in my opinion. It's like complete chaos over there in that.
Okay.
I mean, Antonio Pierce, I don't know if it's one thing when you like the buddy, but then when you become the head coach, you know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Things change. You got to make decisions. He is in a peril right now where he don't know who's starting from week to week. I think this week he said he didn't know if Gardner Minshew was going to start, if it was going to be I can't think of the other kid's name. O'Donnell. I think it's O'Donnell.
Yeah.
Or if it was going to be him. Let's start there. Let's talk about Devontae Adams being absolutely like looking like somebody stole his bike.
He ready to go.
He is like
ready to go. I mean, if you looked at wide receiver in the comments that he had on there, he was ready to go then. He said, I ain't never been hit this much, and this is a clean version. I ain't never been hit this much in my life.
And you got to think about it. When he really went there to be with his best friend Derek Carr, and then they didn't get a chance to get that going too well before Carr was gone. Then Josh McDaniels, that didn't work out. Now we got Antonio.
Well, that was a bad hire from the beginning.
Well, you know that. You said that. You called that right out the gate.
Yeah, I was like, I don't know what they thinking about.
But then now you got the Antonio Pierce thing. But here's the thing: the teams that are on the market to get him are the Jets, the Saints, which makes sense. That would be Aaron Rodgers,
and Derek Carr.
Derek Carr, and then also the Steelers are in the hunt, along with the Bills and the Chiefs, monitoring real tough.
The Steelers?
Like,
the Steelers.
The Steelers.
Okay.
And here's the thing, because absolutely, because Pickens needs some help. Like, what you talking about? He need a one, and he needs a real one. He needs somebody, because that's a dog over there that he needs some help. But you think about that. If I'm Devontae Adams and I just watched them fire Robert Saleh, I don't want no parts of that. I don't want to go over there to something that's in disarray already, and I'm leaving something that's jacked up.
Yeah, I think the Jets just took them. Well,
took himself off the skateboard.
I ain't been right about nothing lately. So
well, we're gonna make a suggestion that they have taken themselves out of the hunt on that. Because if Devontae Adams is as drama free as I think he is, where he just wants things to be just let me get my catches. I don't think that he wants to go over to Jetland where your head coach is about to be the defensive coordinator or whoever it is. Why would I do that? Why would I do that? Okay, then you talk about the Saints. I'm thinking the Saints now are the absolute number one destination. There he gets back with Derek Carr. He's over there with Chris Olave, and if I'm Chris Olave, hell, I want out because I just went from being number one to number two instantly. And then Rashid.
You said that. Where's Mike?
Mike who? Thomas? Isn't he still hurt?
I just had to break up because you said the Saints. Well, go ahead.
Oh,
something ain't right in Saints land. Why that man don't want to play?
His ankle. Remember, I told you he was doing them credit card jumps last year, and I was like, he was doing them credit card jumps. I was like, this dude, he used to go up and get it, and now he's like,
I know. I
I
sidetracked you
was like,
though,
yeah,
but
but
I agree with you with Adams. It does
yeah.
make sense.
But it
But
don't make
after you,
sense for Chris Olave. It don't make sense for Rashid. It don't make sense for what they have over there
if
now.
you're going to take away there, if you're going to take away and focus on, but I don't know. He may want to follow Derek. If you could be buddies and not want to follow him, be like you know me. I ain't
But
never thought
but let's
Derek
be
Carr would get
honest.
nobody to
Let's
the
be
promised
honest. You
land.
still got the Steelers. Now you're talking about Justin Fields throwing your ball. Maybe Russell Wilson. If I was getting that ball, I think I'd want Russell Wilson to be the one throwing it to me out of those two. I'm just going to be honest with you.
Mm-hmm.
But then you got the other two that's over there lurking, peeking behind the bushes, which are the Chiefs and the Bills. And if you go over there, either one of those is a great landing spot because you got a quarterback that's going to throw you the ball
Yeah.
and going to be able to put it on you and put
Yeah.
it on you in a fast way.
Yeah, because
So,
with Rashid Rice, he's done for the season, and then we don't know what's going to happen next season because they're the assumptions that he will get some suspension, some
oh yeah, he
time
going to get some
away from the
suspension.
team. Yeah, you kind of wish, go ahead and get.
You can't be
I
evil
guess you
to
can't.
evil.
And
And
you
then,
does it count if they say go ahead push my date up and suspend me now for
I
this
don't
season?
know.
Because he
That,
can't. Because
I
he's
was
on
thinking
IR,
about
right?
that because if he's hurt right now and he can't play, what happens if they say we're going to go ahead and hand down the suspension?
Right. You take him off of IR and he's just suspended. I don't know if that's even legal. That's like game in the system, so they probably wouldn't let him do it anyhow.
Well,
But I was thinking about that.
he's only got to be on
Yeah,
IR for four
4
games.
games, and then they can suspend him
And
for
then they
another
could
4 and he'd be done.
yeah, and then he could just be whatever. That would be kind of nice, but that's probably not going to happen in Chiefs land.
No,
And
and then that's a little getting. No, you got to learn some lessons too. You got to be smart. You got to
so
pay
I'm
the
gonna be
price.
honest. I think the next coach on the chopping block is probably Antonio Pierce.
You think it's gonna give him one and done?
Yes.
Well,
Very
he ain't
much
got
so.
nothing. He ain't
What
got
you
no
mean?
quarterback.
He got a great. He got his. First of all, Jacoby Myers is a good wide receiver. He looks really good with Devontae Adams when they actually have a
But I say
quarterback.
your quarterback.
When you have a quarterback, yeah. So to me, yes, he did. They had an opportunity to go get a quarterback. They chose the tight end. Let's start
And a
there.
good tight end.
It's a good one, but who you want, a quarterback or a tight end?
You need a
Because tight
quarterback
end
because you gotta
can't
have
throw.
somebody to
The
throw it
guy
to. He can't throw it
tight
to
end can't
himself.
throw it to Devontae.
And he can't throw it to himself either. So
And you
I
had some
get it.
quarterbacks in that group right now, right up in there, that they could have made some moves to go up there and do something, and they opted not to. So unless they got, something that they eyes on
Who's in
somebody
that? Yeah, I don't know who.
coming
I
out in
mean,
this
was
next
Pierce
draft.
making decisions? Who's that GM? I don't
Well,
know.
I
I think
don't
it was
think that he
all.
had anything to do with that
Yeah, I
because
think a
no,
lot of that
I
stuff
would
was.
not do that to him.
Yeah,
But he did have the players' support. Like I said, now you're the head coach. You got to make some decisions. Some things got to, some things
accountability.
got to happen, and it's not so fun anymore. I'm not just one of the guys.
Right.
I'm the coach now, so we'll see. But I'd be a little worried if I were him.
Yeah.
I mean,
I would too. I mean,
lost to the Broncos
yeah, because you
and
started
got
off like,
drugged.
yeah, they started off on a high, and then all of a sudden it was like,
Yep.
because they went in and beat the Ravens.
Yeah, but I like Max Crosby. He was just like, I don't. He had a little moment the other day, and he was like, you got people talking out the side of their neck, and that
He
team
be
is
wild
wild.
now.
Yeah, that
Yeah,
team is wild
he's
over there.
the whole team. Yeah, the whole team's wild.
So, what do you think about that Bills Texans game? Let's talk about that concussion that we all know that Josh Allen.
I mean, we
had.
saw him slam his head down, and you could see him go limp. He was out, and then
That
they come
little
back and
wrist
say it
was
was his.
hanging over like this.
Yes, and they say it was his ankle. If the NFL is trying to
Chest, too.
protect people, you got spotters at these games. If teams are trying to protect players,
Dude,
so
that's
what's more
gonna be an
important? Am I going to win
investigation.
or am I going to protect my players? To me, that said, I don't even care about this dude. They know.
Let me just put it this way: if that is not an investigation, if they don't come back and
find somebody or do
exactly, then I don't want to hear a
But they
word
doubled
about
down
the
because they
Chiefs getting
doubled down. They
favoritism.
lied after the game and said, "Oh, it was his ankle." He came running out of that tent, grabbed his helmet, and told Trubisky to come on.
Yeah, because
Get off the field.
he wanted to make sure that he had a chance to beat Diggs.
Yeah,
because he had talked that trash earlier a couple weeks ago.
It was personal.
About, yeah,
it was
and
personal
so
for all of them. That's why they let him back in the
game
game because that was
beat him.
Yeah, that was their best chance. It was personal for all of them, but
It was. I
I
saw
just think it was
Diggs in the
horrible.
locker room after, like, giving the speech and telling everybody, "Thank y'all for digging that out for me and stuff." Yeah,
Mhm.
it was personal on both sides.
Yeah.
And I think Diggs is a lot more at home in with his group than what Josh has got going on over there, because they had just benched Coleman the other day. They had just benched him. So I mean, he don't
He ain't been
have.
throwing the ball. I don't even know why you're gonna bench him. Maybe he ain't. Maybe he's not running routes. I don't know.
Yeah, I
You know,
don't
we
know,
see what we see. We
because
know
he's
what
a
we
rookie.
know.
He's
Yeah.
a rookie though. Let's like I said, because the
Yeah.
talent is definitely there. He's a rookie. So how about the what other game was good? How about Flacco?
I mean, he put it out. They lost, but he was throwing the ball.
Flacco got a pair on him. You hear what I say?
Yeah. He throw the ball. It's so funny just to watch him because his emotion is just like.
Yeah, man, I love Flacco.
Yeah.
Like I said, even in Baltimore that last year, right before they got rid of him, they know that man back was messed up. And he went out there and played hurt, and guess what? They did him dirty. I done told you, we gonna always talk about that theory about when the quarterbacks go play when hurt,
Yeah.
trying to give everything they got.
But
And
we're
then
gonna
what
see.
the
Speaking of hurt, we're gonna see what happened
organizational
to Derek Carr
paint.
because he took that hit at the end of the game,
Yeah.
and they took him straight to the locker room.
Yeah, it looked like it was an abdomen. They said he
Yeah.
torqued his abdomen. So
oblique.
yeah, something. Yeah.
Yeah.
So that's not an easy injury too. If he tore it, that's harsh. That's a harsh recovery.
What about the Cardinals and the 49ers? What do you think about the 49ers?
Let's talk about how fast Kyler is. Did you see that son gun throw the deuces up
He
about
did.
40
He was
yards
moving.
out?
He was moving.
Like what?
He was moving with them little tiny legs.
Them little
Looking
tiny
like he
legs.
looked like Gazoo from the Flintstones with that
yeah.
helmet on. That
Did
big
you
old
say
helmet
Gazoo?
and just be moving. Yeah, that's Gazoo.
Man, I love Kyler, boy. Kyler was
I like Kyler. I like Kyler
rolling.
too. I'm just like you look like Gazoo.
Yeah, man. I love
But
that
the
kid.
49ers, are you worried? If you're a 49ers fan, are you worried?
You ought to be worried, because what you just learned is it's hard out there in them streets without McCaffrey. It's hard out there in them streets.
Yeah.
Yes, Lord. McCaffrey done messed up my whole parlays, you know.
Yeah. I lost you on sound. I still can't hear you. So come back on your sound. You done hit a button or something.
Oh, I did. I hit it.
There you go.
Right, yeah, I hit one.
Yeah.
I got hype. Yeah, he he got to give me 10 and a half, and he played a game. So he done messed me up for the whole
He over in Germany somewhere talking to a doctor. I hope he gets better. You know me. I'm all about hope he gets better.
We feel. We always want everybody to be healthy.
That's a tricky injury to be playing with. Like they said, it's just rest. It's just
rest
and letting itself heal.
I would absolutely rest him.
Yeah.
I'm not going to run the risk of messing up his Achilles and him tearing his Achilles. And we done already, we went with 2 and 3.
Right.
2 and 3 on the year right now.
Yep.
Hey, Jordan, keep on running. This is your opportunity for your next destination. Get out there and keep doing what you need to do, so that when it's time, when McCaffrey get back, somebody gonna look over there and be like, "You see what that boy did for the so and so?" Yeah, that's what you need to do.
What about the Dolphins?
Done.
All right,
Let's talk about what the Dolphins could do to try to salvage that season.
I mean, I think Huntley played. He played good football when he was in Baltimore. So I don't know if it's a play calling or whatever. You got to make some adjustments as coach. I think this is coaching. This is coaching because you still have some.
You feel like it's coaching?
Yeah, he ain't bad.
You feel like he's still shook from the Tua situation, and it just.
I don't know what it is. I ain't gonna say head coaching. You got a whole coaching staff.
Well,
and Huntley played with Harbaugh as a coach. And did okay. So I'm not. I don't know. How to get that
you know how you love Harbaugh.
Yeah, I had to get that. So I don't know. I got to see what they. They look terrible. They look absolutely terrible.
Well, can you tell me? I want to talk. I'm gonna keep forcing this on you. It's too many quarterbacks out there right now that you can go get that would do very well with a Waddle and a damn Tyreek. It's too many.
And you got Beckham.
Sure do, and he's back.
Beckham came back, but you wouldn't know he was back. He came back Sunday. You wouldn't know he was back.
Well, not with Huntley. He wouldn't know.
I don't know if it's Huntley. I don't know if I'm put it all on Huntley.
Well, I know they had 15 points.
I got Packers. So Jordan Love, who was he like?
Or 10, huh?
Jordan Love. His Will Levis play?
Will Levis.
Levis. Yeah. However we want to say it.
Yeah.
Right. That's our word for the week.
Yes.
And Rich Eisen said,
what I said right when he did it.
No, it wasn't Rich Eisen. It was a guy from NFL Network said the same thing. It was like, come on. I mean, it wasn't a game, but come on.
I was like, what?
You playing at a professional level, you got to be smarter than that. I know we all have mental lapses or whatever, but
so let's talk about Will. Will did not get to sit for 3 years. Will is out there winging it. Will. You feel me?
Yeah.
He out there winging it. Jordan, that looks awful for a different reason. You would have learned from Aaron Rodgers, and Aaron Rodgers would never be out there doing random crap like that. So you have had somebody who's basically one of the safest quarterbacks in the league as your mentor, or not even mentor, but just the person that you got to sit up and watch and play all day with and learn from. And then you get out there and you doing that?
Yeah.
Nah, that hit differently for me. That hit differently for me. That coach was hotter than fish grease. Did you see his face?
He couldn't.
He was like,
he's like, really? That's what you're gonna do?
Oh man, he was hot. But you know, Jordan Love is a good quarterback. But don't do that no more.
I like Jordan Love. I'm glad to see him playing.
Jordan Love, matter of fact, Jordan Love, one of the best ones. One is in the top now. He's that good to me. But yeah, you can't be doing that kind of stuff.
Before we move on to the WNBA, we got one more game we're gonna talk about. And that is what game did I forget? Chicago.
The Bears?
Yeah. But they was playing.
They pulled it off.
They were playing the Panthers.
They pulled it off.
There wasn't much pulling.
I mean, I think Caleb had 2 touchdowns, no interceptions.
Yeah. Yeah. They beat him down. That was 30. That was 35. He's
not turning over the ball.
Yeah, that was 36 to 10. I'm still not. I still got to see what's going on. You know, I was very high on them at the beginning of the season. I still got to see what's going on. Maybe they built up some confidence or whatever to see what's going to happen.
Well, I don't think he has
I can't measure. You can't use,
I don't think he has a confidence problem at all.
No, he does not. But you can't use Carolina as your measuring stick. Not at this point.
Nah. Yeah, that's not going to get
They're
it.
not.
That's not going to get
They're
it.
not the team to do that.
That's not going to get it.
So we're not going to make predictions for next week. We're just going to talk about next week after it happens. What I want to do is talk about the WNBA playoffs. You got something you want to talk about football before we move on?
I was just thinking about Deshaun Watson. What you think is going on with that situation?
I don't know. And then there was controversy about Stefanski wanted to go for it on 4th down, and Watson walked off the field. Still trying to sort that one out and figure out what went on there. Yeah, I don't know. I told you he ain't looking good to me.
I know one thing. Somebody asked him a question about running the ball. He said, I'm not about to ask for no design runs. He said, I ain't trying to.
Maybe that's why he wasn't going for the 4th down. That play was for him, and he said not today. So
it feels like that Deshaun Watson has been hit a couple times, and it's like because he's scrambling for his life. He got rushed like 19, 20 times. He out there doing pirouettes, round off backhand springs with the layout, you know what I'm saying? And still getting hit.
Yeah.
It's still getting hit. The man was doing everything. Man, I could have sworn he had a James Brown move on him. Like, I've not seen anything like that. And I just cannot put all of that on Deshaun Watson, because I know how quick people get skittish in that pocket when you get hit a couple times.
Yeah.
And this ain't college. He getting hit by these pros. He's loving life.
Early on in his career. He already paid, so he ain't got nothing to prove. Because ain't nobody gonna pay.
Everybody gonna say that it's the money, but I'm trying to tell you, dude has been hit. He getting tore up in that pocket, and he don't want no parts of it. That's what I see. I see a whole lot of dancing and wiggling and jiggling, and he is zipping up out of there when he shouldn't be, because he is tired of getting laid on his back. So we'll see. We'll
see what happens if they get better. But I know we're not gonna go into the games for next week. But my game to watch for next week is gonna be
which one?
The Commanders against the Ravens. I'm looking forward to that.
Okay.
Hopefully it's exciting.
Yeah, it's gonna be.
Yep,
it's gonna be.
Okay.
We're gonna have Lamar and Jay. Yeah, it's gonna be off the chain.
All right, let's get into these WNBA playoffs.
Right, let's get into them.
So Aces are out.
Yep.
I think the Aces had a great season. They're out. New York Liberty deservedly. They're moving on, and they're gonna play for a championship.
Yeah, we had a couple
You know
people.
how I
They
feel
didn't.
about
A couple of them didn't show up though for the last game.
for that last game. But you know how Asia showed up all season. I'm an Asia
Mhm.
Wilson fan. That's it. I'm a New York
Yeah.
Liberty fan. That's been my team since.
Mm-hmm.
You know, everything in this house is
Yeah.
got something with New York to do with it since day one. Since back when Houston used to beat the snot out of us all every time we went to a championship. So
Yeah.
maybe they'll get them one. But don't know who they're playing. That game comes on tonight at 7 or 7:30. Who you got with this Minnesota and Connecticut?
Connecticut.
You got Connecticut?
Who did I pick?
I don't remember. I have to go back and see because whoever I picked, it didn't matter. I mean, I had the Aces going all the way, so
Yeah,
that
I
don't
did
matter.
as well.
Yeah,
I did as well.
but
But
I think I probably picked Minnesota, but said Connecticut would give them a good. You know, we picked all the way up.
all the way up.
But after both teams have stole a game on the road, both teams
I'll
have
go
stole a
with
game on the
Connecticut.
road.
Even though I
Carrington
think
is like off
even
the
though I
chart.
think the Lynx are the better team, I'm gonna go with Connecticut.
Okay,
I'm gonna go with the underdog for this one. See if we can get
Kaya
an
is
upset
playing.
going.
Yeah, Kaya is playing, and I mean she is playing
Well,
lights out playing, but the rest of them have to be consistent and step up.
Nafessa.
And when that doesn't happen, you can't carry a team. You know, she just can't. You can't do it all by yourself against a team like Connecticut. They're very physical. You know, they're gonna play you tough. Carrington, I mean, the defense that she plays is just off the charts. And her energy level, so she hitting on both ends. That's something to deal
Remind
with.
me a lot of me.
Yeah.
You ain't got to laugh that hard. I usually had lockdown D back in the day. She remind me a lot of me. I like to energize a bunch. I wasn't gonna get you but 2-3 points, but I was gonna lock you up all day long. Yeah,
Ooh.
I wasn't gonna get you but 2-3, but you wasn't gonna get but 5. You could be averaging 30.
You
This worst night of your life with playing me.
She remind
Me a lot of me. I told you to call me the Flash.
I'm gonna give you that.
College.
I'm gonna give you that.
Flash in and flash out the game.
So I think this season has been a great season of basketball if you're a basketball fan. I think the media and a certain group of people, ain't gonna say who, have ruined or tried to ruin the season for so many. So here's the thing. Caitlin Clark, Rookie of the Year, deserved it.
Absolutely.
Asia Wilson, MVP, deserved
Unanimous.
it. Tiff, 6 woman, I give it to her. Kaya, Defensive Player of the Year. Nah, I was borderline on that one. I didn't agree with that one. I thought that one should have went to Asia too, based on numbers. But I'm not mad. Right. So here's the thing: the game was good. Yes. Did Clark bring more people to the game? Did Reese bring more people to the game? I don't care who brought them to the game. They came to the game. Okay. And they came to watch the game. Want to give Clark her props, give her props, because absolutely those are the fans that you're hearing from the most. But those are also the divisive fans that were in there. And it also caused the media to be divisive about, you listen to people saying, oh, people should kiss the ring. They should do this. They should be grateful to her and all that. Stop it. These women have been playing for like ever. Some of them,
and
to
what
get the
ring
game
are we referring to, by the way?
Right.
I know.
Because she ain't got one. But I'm not going to dog her out because she's even said, and for Clark, it was like she can't, after every game, after whatever, every press conference, you got to speak for clowns. Because half of them, like she says, is not even her true base, true Iowa or Caitlin Clark fans.
No, I just got real.
People appreciate it, and you would see it in the comments. People just appreciated good basketball. Some people was like, "Hey, I came because of Clark. I'm staying because of what I saw." And that's good. Like, but on the other hand, you had the others. I'm not watching no more, and everybody's like, okay,
So what?
don't
You
watch
wasn't
no more.
watching in the beginning,
Right, because you didn't understand what you were looking at. So when it
Nope.
came down to, you had the questions about race, you had the questions about sexuality and all this other stuff, and that's what they started turning into. It just really, really,
Turned me off.
yeah, it pissed me off
Yeah, really.
because I'm like, it's a good game. WNBA is that's a good game. Them women are out there playing, they're playing hard, they're doing a lot, and they're pioneers of the game. So it's like you want to get on, they rode Swoops. Swoops can say what her and Nancy Lieberman
Oh
going back.
Lord.
It's like, y'all do that somewhere else. Y'all ain't helping the game. You know what I'm saying? Because you're taking focus and putting it on yourself. So just let the players play. I know Sue Bird said she wished at times she could just shut up and dribble. They can't because they're in that spotlight. You know what I'm saying? They can't do that. But they're human beings. And when people started attacking them as people, it went beyond them being an athlete. They started attacking them as people. And I think that's horrible this is kind of like my closing thing, horrible in any sport.
Absolutely.
Just, yeah. I mean, jump in. I know we talked about this. And
No, I thought you was gonna say that for your closing thoughts today, but it got you early. You
got me.
couldn't even hold that in because
No,
that was
because
supposed to be a closing
it's really
thought.
been bothering me because I love the game.
I know you do, and it's sad because for the fans that's been there from day one to see what unfolded this year, was kind of hurtful because you got a bunch of ignorant people who don't know a thing about basketball, who came in and X and all those social media platforms. Those are just places for people that to spew hatred, to spew their poison. And they chose the WNBA to do that this year. And it was just sad watching some of the WNBA players crying at press conferences, talking about all the hate that they were receiving, and all they want to do is go out there and play basketball.
Right.
And I felt like it was just overboard. All the you owe this person this and you owe this person that, and the WNBA don't know how to sell the game, and we got to put this person on the Olympic team, and hell, we can't find one spot to get her on there. It was just crazy.
And the fans, the true fans weren't even, I mean, the true fans were spending a lot of time trying to defend stuff where the true fans would have just been out there talking about their teams. Like we do. We talk about our teams, right? But then everybody's like, ain't nobody watching it because Clark ain't playing no more. And here's the bad part. It made Clark out to be like a villain. Right. And she really wasn't.
But she wasn't a villain.
She wasn't a villain, but that's how, so people started attacking her. She's just playing. And it was like, it was just.
I thought that she was caught in the middle. I mean, even in the beginning when we first came, I was like, Clark don't need y'all. She gonna adjust to the game. It takes a minute, the speed of the game, the physicality of the game. It took a minute, but she didn't need people jumping in for her. Her game was gonna speak for itself once she was able to do that. And that from the very beginning with DT and all of them, that's the only thing anybody was saying. It's not easy. It's a big step up from college, playing against grown women in the pros. That's got their weight up. That's strong as an ox. That's physical, and she was gonna have to adjust. As soon as she hit the ground, oh my God. And I was like, this is
they like
crazy.
Somebody tried to poke our eye out on purpose, and they're
crazy.
doing this. It had gotten crazy. There's a couple of reporters that are under scrutiny for all of that because they're asking these other players stuff after the game. But it's just like, don't, it's I just next year, it's like maybe we don't have that, and people still go out and watch it. Maybe we don't have that because it's a good,
and the thing is
good
that
game. It's a good league. Yeah,
she adjusted to that. By the end, she was as rough as any of them. She flopped with the best of them.
She learned. But what I'm saying,
quick.
it wasn't even, and she was like, it wasn't like she even talked about the people that she watched, then the pioneers before her and all that. But I got the fact that you can't expect to address that every day. That's a lot for her to carry. That's a lot for anybody to carry. Just like we saw, it's a lot for Asia to carry. You carrying it on and trying to get a 3-piece. So,
towards the end, I could see that she was something.
Yeah.
Something was going on
There was
there.
a lot going on. It's like I gotta get this three-peat, team gotta step up. Becky saying, hey, that was an interesting comment. Yeah, some of the team ain't gonna look the same next year. Well, it can't,
Well,
because other teams have adjusted because they knew you were the standard and you had to beat. So they did what they had to do. Now you got to get back on that and
yeah.
get you some. So we'll see what that looks like. Because New York
Mm-hmm.
did that. New York, they got the right players at the right, last year they couldn't pull it off. I think this year they're gonna pull it off.
And
I
some
just think that they
teams
will.
and some teams destroyed themselves getting rid of people that were actually good that I never understood.
Yeah.
They did.
Well, I still had questions about some of the roster spots on the Aces, but like I
Oh
said,
yeah.
I'm everybody's assistant coach.
Oh yeah, you
I'm
did.
assistant
We
coach
talked
for
about that.
a whole bunch of teams, but then there's a lot of free agents out there too. So the off season is going to
Mm-hmm.
be interesting.
Mm-hmm.
We'll see what happens. Nika Mule got hurt overseas. That scream.
Really?
I watched the. Yeah, I love her from. I'm a UConn fan.
Yeah. Yeah.
That's my team. Always been my team. Love Dawn Staley.
She got
Love
hurt.
what they doing out there. But yeah, she was screaming, and it was like it was eerie.
Ooh.
So yeah, that was. Hope she comes back. I just wanted to see more of her this year. Didn't get to see it, so I hope she can heal, come
And I hope
back,
she
and then
bounced back,
yeah,
man.
hate to see anybody get hurt.
Yeah,
But
that's not
I'm
good.
looking forward to tonight's game. I'm looking
Uh-huh.
forward to the championship. I think it's going to be fun. I think people are going to be tuned in to see, you know, who it is, who's playing. Like we say, people don't your viewership always falls off, I think, a little bit as
Mm-hmm.
you get to the championships, because it depends on who it is.
Mm-hmm.
Like there was a championship, I think, a couple of years ago with the NBA with Denver. Somebody, nobody cares. You have the markets. You have certain markets that are going to draw people to the game. New
Mm-hmm.
York is that market. Vegas is that market. You know what I'm saying?
Absolutely that
Those,
market.
those are going to draw, right? I mean, everybody's out.
Yeah.
Everybody's out of those games. So it was like last year. That's why it was bananas. So we'll
Yeah, they
see.
did the right thing, boy, didn't they?
Yeah, we'll
That's
see.
a that market is paying off.
Yeah,
Did they ever figure out that investigation thing?
No, didn't hear. I haven't heard anything else about it. So it's two investigations. The one with Hamby, that's still going on, and then you have the one where they got that money. So we'll see what happens. What happens with those? But that's kind of what I got. One more thing that I'm going to close the show out with. But what you got for closing on? That was
Um, really, I'm just want people to be kind. We got these victims out here. We got people on social media using it as an opportunity to be political with things. These people are in trouble. We have places completely wiped out. They need prayer. They need assistance. This is not a game. I mean, I hate to even see, I'm watching some of these victims get online and just pour their hearts out, talking about what their family's going through, how they need help, FEMA is doing what FEMA can do. It's doing what it's designed to do. I think we got to stop trying to drag politics into everything.
everything. Yeah, I agree.
I really hate to see that with what's going on with these victims, but I know I'm praying for them. I hope everybody else prays for them, because these people they need help.
Yeah,
They really do.
it's the lies, and it's like that. That's one reason we're gonna tell you, to get out there and vote. But before we get to that, I just want
Mm-hmm.
to say, so yesterday, October 7th, was the day that Lynette Woodard became the first female Harlem Globetrotter. So shout out to her,
Oh,
to
sure.
Lynette, friend of
Hey,
the
hey,
show.
hey.
Right.
Do, 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 do,
But
do. Right? Those
right. She
songs
says she'll
gonna
play you
be
in pickleball. She ain't gonna
man.
hurt you in basketball.
Man, let me tell you
Pickleball.
something. I told her then I still got another. I got until April, 1 year out. It'll be 1 year in April with this knee, and then I'm a buster. I don't care about it being the greatest.
I'm
I'm
gonna
finna get it.
I'm gonna clip this.
I'm
I'm gonna
finna
clip this
lock
and
her
send it to her.
down. I'm finna lock her down, like I told you. Old girl, remind me of me. I'm finna lock. I'm gonna be back once his knee get back. But I'll
Okay.
tell you the story about when I first went. Me deciding to go out there and try to play basketball about a month ago, and how that didn't work out well.
No.
But that's okay. Yeah,
Yeah.
but tell her.
Pickleball. She told you to
Yeah, I'm
start with
telling you,
pickleball.
Lynette. I'm telling you, hey, I got you. You was
Okay.
talking all that trash. I don't care about you being a little bit older than me. I'm crippled. We gonna be, it'll even out. I'm coming for you.
All right,
No,
so
she's awesome.
we got less than 30. We got less than 30. And early voting has started all over the country. So get out
Absolutely,
there,
guys.
vote.
Get out there and vote.
Vote. That is your assignment. Vote. Understand the assignment. We need it.
And
We
I
need
will
it. We
tell
need
you,
it
like
bad.
I always tell y'all, if y'all don't vote, y'all need to be walking down the street and they just cut your ear off. I'm telling you, you better get out there and vote, man. Don't not vote.
Right.
That's your voice.
That's it. That's it. Got to be heard.
Absolutely.
So till next time, people, please be kind, be blessed. And as usual, we'll see you next time.
Peace.
Thank you for tuning in to Two Gems and a Mic. Be sure to subscribe and follow. Until next time, remember, be kind, be blessed. Peace.